Hello, hello. I was like, I can't not. It's too fitting. It's too fitting. Just. What's up? How are we doing? Before I start today, I just want to complain. I feel like my music is a bit loud, maybe, perhaps, a bit strange. Anyways, I want to complain about my fucking washing machine. Because I got it new, but like there was when I got it from like this outlet kind of thing. So like I understand getting things that are like secondhand or whatever, it's fine. I don't have a problem with that, but like I got it and it was allegedly new. But I got it and apparently it had been used for testing or something because there was like this Spider-Man like child-sized t-shirt in there. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess my nephew has a new shirt. I don't know. Yeah. It's a really weird washing machine just in general. Like I am pretty sure it's bipolar. Free shirt, I guess. I mean, it wouldn't fit me, but yeah. They just left it in there. I guess so. I brought it home and looked inside after we'd finished setting it up, and there it was. Like, huh, that's strange, I guess. I'm pretty sure it shrank too, though, so, you know, but yeah, like I said, it's bipolar, because when I turn it on, it doesn't really make, like, any beeping noises. It just makes these, like, aggressive clicks. I don't know how to put it. It's kind of funny, honestly, but, like, I turn it on, and I have to wait for the clicks, and that's when I know, okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. But sometimes it just won't click. And I'm just like, hello? I turn it off and then back on. It still won't click. The washing machine needs therapy. Yes, exactly. It absolutely does. So it like clicks. And then yesterday I was like doing my laundry or whatever. First load went great. No problems whatsoever. Then the second one, I was literally just gonna like wash some bedding, and first of all, it didn't make the clicking noises, so I had to like just turn it off and then back on again, start the cycle without it actually doing the clicking, which just makes the machine just confused about what it's supposed to do, I guess. So I just have to wait for it to click, and then I can go back and I can turn it back off and then on again, and then I hear the clicks and I can actually start it. But here's the thing. I looked at it yesterday when it said it had like 16 minutes left. I have a spicy washing machine. Listen, it has a temperament. I'm just gonna say that. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I went and looked at it when I had like 16, 17 minutes left, and I was like, wow, I really just show up here when it's like 15 minutes left. Because I did the same for the first load too. But here is where it gets kind of weird, okay? I decide, okay, I'm just gonna sit back down, watch some YouTube while it does its thing. And I am sitting there for at least 10 minutes, maybe even more. And I go back. You want to know how many minutes were left after I went away for at least 10 minutes when it said 17? It said it had 10 minutes left, and I'm like, bitch, I was not gone for fucking 7 minutes. I was gone for longer than 7 minutes. You can't tell me I was gone for 7 minutes. It's not happening. And I was just like, okay, that's kind of strange, but I guess it's just be like that sometimes. So I go back, sit down, literally 2 minutes or something. I hear it clicking, it's done. And I'm like, hello? And so I get there a bit too late, because of course it finished clicking. After it's finished clicking, you can't open the door, so you gotta turn it off and then back on again. Wait for the clicks, and then it does this like sequence of clicks. It's like 3 clicks, like really fast, and then it's just like 1 click alone, and then it's another one with 3 clicks, and then for the next lone click, then the door is open, then you can open it. Like, listen, it's a fucking puzzle box just to fucking do laundry around here. The washing machine's time perception can relate. Yeah. But it's even funnier when you open the door after it's finished, like doing the clicking. It's like it's screaming, but in clicks. It keeps you on your toes, really. But it's like if you open the door, when it literally has unlocked the door, you open the door and it's just like, where's the door? Where's the door? I need the door. I can't lock the door if there is no door to lock. It's like literally fucking, it's like it's panicking, and oh my god. It's just so funny. It's like, I don't even know if you can hear the snaps. I don't know if my mic can pick that up. Oh, it's so funny. But anyways, I went to just go and just hang up the laundry or whatever. But what's this? It's fucking soaking wet. And I'm just like, did you not finish centrifuging or whatever? So I close the door, turn it back off, wait for the clicks. Except this time I put it to just the spinning cycle got interrupted. I don't know if it did. That's the thing. I don't know if it did. It's just weird. Maybe that's what happened. But anyways, I set it to just spin. So it literally, all it had to do was just spin to just try to bring out some more water from the fucking thing. But it wouldn't lock. It wouldn't do the clicks. So I was like, well, okay, fuck me then, I guess. I turned it off, turned it back on. Doesn't work. Turn it off, turn it back on. Doesn't work. Turn it off, turn it back on. Start anyways. Wait for like 5 minutes or so until it clicks. Go back to the fucking bathroom. Turn it off, turn it back on. Wait for the clicks. Start the cycle. And it said 17 minutes. I swear it went on for longer than 17 minutes. I don't know. I feel like it's just broken. Which is like, it's new. I got it like 2 years ago. When I moved in here. Luckily, I have a 2-year warranty. Yes, I do. I do. Even found like a fucking picture of the receipt. And I do have a 2-year warranty, and I can also like complain about it for like 5 years or whatever. Yeah, my mom was gonna do it today, but some stuff got in the way for that, so she's gonna do that tomorrow. So, yeah, I think after that fucking rant about my fucking washing machine, that's just, I swear it's fucking bipolar. Like, it really feels like a fucking puzzle box. Like you have to follow this like specific sequence. It's kind of funny. And I do relate to it. I've never ever thought of thought of a washing machine as relatable, but mine really is. The click-clacking sounds like it would be very annoying. That's not the annoying part. It doesn't click-clack for a very long time. It's just like a sequence of like, I think it does the sequence like 4 times or whatever. There's like 3 and then 1 alone. I think, anyway. There's maybe like 2 that are alone. I don't know, something like that anyway. Appliances are surprisingly relatable, especially when they malfunction. Right? Anyways, I think we're just gonna get into the game now. Because, my god. What? Okay, well. There we go. Toaster, give a sad beep mood. Okay. Yay! Lemon trial, let's go. I can't believe it's been 6 months since I was last allowed to work in court. And now here I am, back at the Old Bailey. Mr. Naruhodo! Good morning, Professor Clement. Also, I've been like... I've been thinking, because he obviously has 2 names, as any normal fucking human person. But I'm thinking, Hairbrain is gonna be Lemon from now on, because, like I said, in Japanese, the father's name is Limone, and in English it's Meyer, but I looked it up, and it's literally a type of lemon. So I feel like Lemon being their actual surname is fitting. All the lemons, yes. So he's gonna be Clement Lemon, and whenever Iris refers to him as like bunny brain or whatever she said in the last episode, it's gonna be lime. or some other citrus fruit. Like, I don't fucking know, fucking mandarin, clementine. Those are the ones I know. Grapefruit. Like, it's just gonna be like a whole thing. I've been like thinking about this. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. The atmospheric pressure in here is off the charts. I've never felt anything like it. It's crushing me. I'm surprised it didn't name Bonnie Eureka something with citrus. Yeah. I always found that really weird. It's just like, why? maybe there is something there. I'm gonna have to fucking scour through the fucking Bulbapedia page later and be like, why? I guess Eureka is because Clement is an inventor or whatever. Like, you know, it kind of works. But Bonnie? I don't know where the fuck they got Bonnie from. Is there such a thing as Bonnie lemons? Maybe the mom was a lemon addict and got to name the first child. Okay. I feel it every time I'm here. That gravity. Naruto is like, I feel it. I feel the gravity. The force that is keeping me on the floor. I can feel it. Well, this is Britain's highest court. Are you telling me it's fitted with some kind of device that can actually control air pressure? I think it's probably all in the mind. Ah, yes. Well, you won't let me down, will you? Mr. Naruhodo? I'm counting on you in today's trial to save my life. To save the secret of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine from being made public. Yes, I understand. I know what I have to do. I have to establish that the explosion 2 days ago was nothing more than an unfortunate accident. Bonnie is a type of lemon. Oh my fucking god. Are you kidding? Oh no! Of course it fucking is! What about Eureka? Bonnie Bray? Is that how you pronounce that? Well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, really. Justice will prevail! Ooh. Eureka is also a lemon sword. Oh my god. I thought Ace Attorney was bad enough. What the fuck is this? Who is this? My commiserations, Mr. Naruhodo. You appear to have been lumbered with the most tiresome case here. I wonder if the dad's name is also Lemon. It is! It is! Meyer! I just said it! Meyer Lemons! It's like a Chinese type of lemon. Ah, it was? It didn't sound like him! Mr. Sholmes, I didn't expect to see you here.
That was very mean, Bruno. Leaving me alone at home with Harley. It took me at least an hour to wake him.
Oh, is it... Are you... Sherlock Sholmes? Indeed, sir. I am he. Sherlock Sholmes. I meant last name? I just want to call them all fucking women. I mean, usually, like I said, in the Japanese version, he's called Limone, right? There literally are 11s. God. They really are. Like I said, they call him Limone-san, right? And in Japanese, you usually call like other people's parents by their last name. You don't call them by their first name. So I want to say that they're all just called Limone, really. But it's Italian, so I'm like, okay. Maybe they're actually Italian. I don't fucking know. The fucking plot. The plot thickens. Oh, I've heard all about your exploits, even whilst living in France.
Ah, yes. Rand's magazine is on sale in France too.
This month's installment was sublime. Your deduction in an adventure of Silver Blaze was wonderful. Italian, French, German. Sterling really gets around, yeah. Ah, yes, a memorable case indeed. It concerned a snake, I seem to recall.
No, that was the Speckled Band.
Well, thank you for coming. I do appreciate your support. I'm sorry to disappoint you, my dear fellow, but I'm afraid I can't stay. Oh, I have urgent business at Madame Tespel's. You mean your waxwork job? No, the waxwork abduction, of course. Madame has engaged my services. Ah, so you're trying to get to the bottom of that ransom note, are you? The week's wages depend on it, as does the safe return of the waxwork, naturally. As such, I intend to give it my undivided attention. Oh, well, never mind then. I understand. Of course, with my skills of observation and reasoning, resolving the matter will be as easy as proverbial pie. I shall return forthwith.
For until I solve the case, I shall have no money to afford a pie of any description.
Pie. Oh no, now I want to watch Pushing Daisy. Fuck. I don't know. I also want pie, but...
Oh, then you must absolutely give it your full attention, Hurley.
Quite, Iris. Quite. But life is riddled with irony, you know. Whenever I give something my full attention, I have a quite insatiable desire for a pie. Pi squared. Yeah. One of the universe's intractable mysteries, you might say. Oh yes, quite, definitely, absolutely. I totally understand. Is someone a little starstruck? I wish you the very best of luck, Professor Limone. Oh, why, thank you. Before I depart, Mr. Naruhodo, a word in your ear, if you please. Oh, what's this about? As you have remarkably little grounding in science, I feel I ought to inform you. As compelling as this super high voltage instantaneous kinesis hypothesis may be, a practical implementation such as was attempted by the professor at the Great Exhibition is quite impossible. But the professor said the demonstration was a success. Yes, it would appear that he fervently believes it was.
I read Professor Lime's paper about it too, Runo, and I have to say, I'm sure it can't be done. It could barely be done theoretically, let alone practically.
So he's completely barking up the wrong tree. But how could an experiment that had no possibility of succeeding in fact succeed? That's contradictory. And it's that contradiction that will be the heart of the trial, I've no doubt. What's that supposed to mean? Now, I must hurry along. I wish you the best of luck, my dear fellow.
See you later, Hurley!
Oh, you know something is weird when a 10-year-old judges your science.
Well, it looks like you're on your own today, Runo, but chin up, you can do it!
Oh, what about you, Iris?
No, I'm afraid I can't help. I have something I need to do.
I see.
It's going to be a big surprise for you when you find out what it is.
Unless Iris has inhabited the spirit of Eureka. I don't know. That sounds ominous. Counsel for the defense, defendant, court is about to be in session. Yes, let's go. An experiment that the laws of science say can't possibly succeed, and a scientist who's convinced that it did. That's the riddle you have to unlock here, Ryunosuke. It's the key to this case. Hell yeah, the future is now thanks to science!
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are sitting today for the public trial of Professor Clement Limone.
It's so hard. Listen, I struggle. It's fine. I'll get the hang of it soon enough.
I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready, my lord. I'm 6 months out of practice, and what's more, I'm without Susato-san today. Is it just my imagination, or does the air in here feel even more oppressive than usual?
So, I must say I recollect the victim of this case all too well. Mr. Odie Osman.
Mr. Osman was well known as a financier, though that was merely a front for his diverse criminal activities.
It was only a month ago that the man appeared in court prosecuted by you, Lord Van Zieks. But the jury unanimously found him not guilty.
Because every member of the jury had been bribed by the sound of it. These powerful London criminals are prepared to go to extreme lengths to keep their freedom.
But 2 days ago, on 21st of October, Mr. Arsman met his end. The work of the Reaper, was it?
If that is how your lordship would describe divine retribution. But the fact remains that Mr. Osman's death... We're child and keep laughing at Horseman, yeah. Was a direct result of the actions of the accused Clement Limone.
Very well then. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people.
Have they though? Have they really? How many of the jury is gonna make a comeback, you think? What are we thinking? What are we thinking so far? I don't know if we could actually see them at the beginning of the trial, but I did not pay attention to them anyway, so I don't know. I mean, it is a new case, which it could be all new. Is it though?
Are the 6 of you ready to fulfill your societal duty?
Probably at least 2 members. Yeah. Hello, a new face! I'm most gratified to have been selected to carry out this important civic duty, my lord. Yes. To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine. I am taken aback because these are all new people. And I'm like, hello? Science experiments, magic, conjuring tricks, courtroom trials, all are nothing more than performances. And mysterious scholars that defiles the reputation of science deserves to hang.
We have to listen to what's said on both sides. The defense. And then settle on one. That's it, isn't it?
Oh, is that the sleeping policeman? Okay. Wasn't like this in my day. Wasn't like this at all. That's the police killer Automole lookalike. Again. And he's as exhausted as ever, it seems. Well.
Now, as I'm sure you are all aware, the incident we are here to judge today tragically took place at the Great Exhibition, shortly after its opening.
Though the death toll could have been far worse, with the exception of the victim, no one was killed. Nevertheless, the dream of the science being exhibited rapidly turned into a nightmare for the spectators.
A tragic turn of events, and as such, the eyes of all London, no, the whole world will be on this trial.
Except for the science man, so far none of the jury seem to be involved in this case. Yeah! Like, damn, they actually fucking stepped up their game, I guess.
It is our duty to reach a swift and just conclusion, I feel. So, your opening statement, please, Lord Van Zieks.
At the heart of this incident is technology never before demonstrated anywhere in the world.
One of science's latest developments, I take it? The government is keen to capitalize on the Great Exhibition to improve Britain's technological advantage. The technology being demonstrated by the accused was described as super high voltage instantaneous kinesis. Good lord!
It's designed to disassemble human subjects using extremely high voltage electricity and beam them instantly to another location where they are subsequently reassembled.
Is such a thing even within the realms of possibility?
I don't believe it, that's for sure. Disassembling people with electricity, my goodness, how shocking. The whole idea is absurd. The hypothesis would never stand up to scrutiny.
Sir, I believe you're a fellow of the Royal Society, are you not? An expert in your field?
I am. My word on the matter can be considered final. Instantaneous kinesis is poppycock. So this expert and Mr. Shams are in agreement. It's impossible.
What is the prosecution's view on the matter?
The prosecution would assert that the accused's instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a success. What? Okay.
Order!
The professor's hypothesis is currently under investigation by the British government. If it is deemed to have merit, a substantial research grant would be made available. The accused made use of the invention built on his new hypothesis to take Mr. Osmond's life, in order to be the sole benefactor of the grant. But...
What is this? Van Zieks believing in his friend, and yet accusing him of murder?
This disastrous demonstration was no accident. It was carefully designed from the outset to end the life of the victim.
Thank you, Lord Van Zieks. The prosecution's stance is clear. But you will now bring forth witnesses to substantiate your claims.
Gladly, my lord. Bailiff, show the first witnesses to the stand. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. I was on duty at the demonstration on the day in question and in charge of the following investigation.
Clement Limone, scientist! You were born in England, but you have been carrying out research in France in recent years, correct? Yes, that's right! After graduating from university here in Britain, I went to work in France and made an amazing discovery, which is what brought me back. I had to demonstrate my incredible hypothesis at the Great Exhibition.
What you demonstrated was incredible, alright? An incredible explosion.
But the science! The science was a success! The instantaneous kinesis worked! Everyone saw it! They must have done! Yes, there was a terrible accident, but the demonstration of my hypothesis was a success!
Well, that much is undeniable, as shown in this photograph taken by the forensic investigation team. This was taken inside the Crystal Tower, I take it? The centerpiece of this exhibition, no less.
That's right, my lord. Seems the victim rammed straight into it.
I see. Very well. Submit the photograph as evidence.
You'll shit on your hypothesis, yeah.
As the court heard, the victim of the incident was Mr. O.D. Osmond. There have been a number of allegations made against the man, but putting them aside for the time being, he was the man who financed the research for the experiment and the demonstration itself. I see. So to summarize the situation, the defendant is accused of taking the life of the man who funded his work. Would that be correct?
Exactly. Couldn't it be that the explosion was caused by some malfunction in the apparatus used for the demonstration? That's right! That must be it! My splendid machine! My poor splendid machine! I'm trying to do Clement's voice, but I feel like I just sound like fucking Ota.
You saw her yesterday, didn't you? We can't even examine the wreckage thanks to the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act.
The wreckage? The wreckage?
But that being the case, how can the facts be established? How can it possibly be determined whether this was an accident or a deliberate and malicious act?
enthusiasm for their chosen interest. What is it, just more horny? More horny? I want to say horny, period. Extremely simply, my lord.
I beg your pardon?
Isn't that right, witness? Sorry? Me? No, your neighbor. Yes, sir. It was murder, plain and simple. Anyone could state that with complete certainty. What? How can you possibly think that?
Thank you, Inspector. I think we had better proceed to formal testimony. You will explain to the court on what grounds you claim this experiment to have been a front for murder.
The corpse that went crashing through the crystal tower had a broken neck. I made a minor miscalculation in the angle of the beam projection. That's all. That was my mistake. But the post-mortem examination revealed another injury, a fatal wound. There was a lesion in his chest where he'd clearly been stabbed by something sharp right in the heart. So the victim was killed before he went anywhere, and this feller's the only one who could have done it. Okay.
An extraordinary business. And in addition to suffering a broken neck, the victim was stabbed in the heart.
Information I would really like to have heard from someone other than the judge. I do appreciate he's trying to take responsibility for what to his knowledge is just a horrible accident. Yeah! He really is. The coroner says the death, would have been all but instant from a wound like that. You could say, in fact, that the victim was killed twice by the accused. No! No! I couldn't be further from the truth! I have here the experiment plan document that was submitted to the security team. Victim stood himself inside something called the birdcage, ready to be beamed instantly. To the second level of the crystal tower, about 25 yards away. But that doesn't line up with this. Here it's pointing up here. Not here. Here. The experiments did not go according to plan, however. Ah, okay. As the machine was put into operation, there was a large explosion. The blast caused the beam transmitter to point higher than intended. Accordingly, the kinesis resulted in the birdcage materializing in mid-air. Sorry, that was a bit funny. From where it subsequently fell, crashing through the glass of the crystal tower's large round window.
My word. One assumes the victim's neck was broken upon impact with the tower then.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. The machine was just too powerful. But honestly, really, I swear, it was just an accident. A terrible accident. Unfortunately, that excuse can't save you. No, not considering the sharp murder weapon that pierced the victim's heart. Murder weapon? What are you saying? This is the autopsy report submitted by the coroner. The prosecution would like it entered into the court record.
Your request is granted, counsel.
The way Fonseca's described it really does sound like an accident. Yeah, it really does. Hold on, let me just read this autopsy report. Odie ass man. Hell yeah. Nationality British. Hemorrhage of a wound to the chest that pierced the heart inflicted by a sharp implement. A broken vertebra, most likely resulting from impact after a sudden fall from considerable height. Most likely. Okay. There he is! The ass man himself, oh hell yeah. I was there in person, you know. I saw the whole ludicrous performance. And the only other person on the stage with Mr. Assman, sorry, he's British, with Mr. Assman, was that disgraceful excuse for a scientist. And really, by all accounts, it must have been him. Hard to think otherwise, really. I refuse to make up voices for these people. Unless something comes to me throughout the stream, I refuse.
Very well, counsel for the defense. Proceed with the cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord. Need to focus here. It's been a while. What is this? And what grounds do you have for saying that? You really need to ask. There were only two people on that public experimentation stage in front of the whole crowd. The victim, Mr. Odie Osman, and the accused, Professor Limone. God, I'm struggling! We know for certain that before the experiment, the victim was alive. That's right, I saw him with my own eyes. Furthermore, following the explosion and kinesis, nobody went anywhere near the body. In other words, only someone else on stage with the victim could possibly have done it. And Clement Limone is the only bloke who fits the bill. Unless you got some other bright idea, Sunshine, in which case, let's hear it. My learned friend, silence is your answer, Inspector. Can't a man have a moment to think? So that's all the testimony, okay. Did he keep it to himself for an advantage? Okay, the game just wants me to press anyway. I'll just press everything. Are you suggesting that because he fell from a considerable height? That was one question. Exactly! Which I liked something else about this overall business. What's that? The fact that the instantaneous kinesis itself was a success. After the explosion, the cage with the fella inside suddenly appeared out of nowhere in midair. Wait, hold on. Out of nowhere in mid-air. I want to say he was dropped from a fucking balloon. How he got there in the first place? And how he managed to get into the machine? I don't know. A fucking twin. You know what? That would make sense. Right? Because, like, appeared out of nowhere in midair. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, the instantaneous kinesis, doesn't work. Like, we have played from Apollo Justice onward. Magic isn't the thing. Maybe the crossbolt. Someone shot the balloon and dropped the man. The crossbolt? Oh, this thing. I didn't even look at it yesterday. Not yesterday, last time. I can look at it. Wait, yeah, I can. Crossbow, you mean? There's some sort of lever here. So the thing immediately thought crossbow. I just completely blanked on it, to be honest. What is this? It looks like a cross between a bow and a gun. I think it's probably used for the same thing too. Looks like layers of thick canvas with a thick rubber lining of sorts. I've never seen anything like it before, but applying Mr. Sholmes' methods, I might deduce it was part of a raincoat worn by someone who really didn't want to get wet. And the charring must have occurred when the person was struck by lightning. Or maybe not. So this is probably from a balloon then. Like, you see this? Balloon. Something that is sent to keep gas in, like a balloon, yes. Now the question is, did he pull a La Miroir and just have like a fucking stunt double or whatever? But what happened to the first person then that went into the machine that exploded? What happened with that person? Like, I want to say, I'm pretty like confident in saying that it's that the body fell from a balloon. But whatever happened to whoever was on the fucking platform, I have no fucking clue yet.
So although the experiment ended in disaster, the so-called instantaneous kinesis did actually occur.
Remind us, Professor. What was the cause of the fatal disaster? Oh, sorry, let me go back. And press. Maybe they disguised themselves? Yeah, sure! But where did they go after that? Was there a fucking... Maybe, actually. Maybe there is a fucking, a hatch. Like a hidden hatch. So when things started, like, smoking, he just, like, went inside of that hatch. I don't fucking know. Was there a hatch there? I don't remember. Could be. So it's literally a fucking Laverar. Like an emergency escape. Maybe, something like that. So the angle of projection is critical, is it? And you calculated it yourself, personally. Absolutely! The calculation is far too complicated for anyone but me to carry out. Only, you got it wrong, didn't you? Yes, that's right! That's the point! The calculation is so complicated even I can make a mistake. Do people fall for that brazen confidence? I should try it. I took into account the subject's height and weight, the wind direction, the ambient temperature. I considered every possible variable, so I just don't understand how this could have happened. Obviously then, you had to include the weight of the clothes Mr. Assman was wearing at the time, I suppose. Crackling comets! The answer should have been 3! So much for safety first. The 3 must be for safety third.
Hold it!
Another fatal injury, you say? That doesn't make any sense. Didn't think I'd have to spell this out, but here we go. Just because there were 2 fatal wounds doesn't mean I'm saying the victim had 2 lives to lose, does it? Too right. Obviously, at first, we thought the bloke had died due to his spine snapping in half as well. But you're saying that's not the case. You'll get your answers once I finish my fish and chips. Listen, your fucking fish keeps regenerating. I don't think you're ever gonna finish that. If you don't keep butting in every few seconds. But we all know that's a bottomless bag. Thank you. The victim plummeted 30 feet into a glass tower. It would be reasonable to assume that that is the cause of death. Reasonable? But is it the only? Is it the only opportunity? Even the game acknowledges it. Right, that's what we all thought. But it was a red herring, wasn't it?
Hold it!
The defense knew nothing of this crucial information. Hold on, wait. The lesion in his chest. I mean, I feel like he must have been shot up in the balloon. There is no other fucking possibility there. If he did, in fact, come from the balloon. That would make sense. Yeah, like, I think maybe he wasn't supposed to be shot initially, but like whoever had the crossbow, maybe it was the crossbow bow that hit him. No, not bow, arrow, I mean. And they covered it up with a screwdriver. Could have been, could have been. I forgot about the screwdriver. Yeah, maybe the guy was just, I don't know. Maybe it was a poor shot? I don't fucking know. The prosecution received this report from the forensic investigation team only this morning. That was the first we knew of it as well. I can only apologize for the impossibility of informing the defense. Sarcastic and insincere? Thanks. Oh, what was the nature of this sharp object? Among the accused tools that were in use at the demonstration, one is of particular interest. This.
Ah yes, that would appear to be some kind of screwdriver.
There, he is! My trusted little companion. Andrew! Andrew? Andrew, of course. Do you know each other already? He's one of my dear friends. Like all my tools. I've named them all, you know. We're one big happy family. Oh no, he's fucking lost it in this fucking AU. I will just say that. Andrew is my flathead screwdriver, of course. His brother Michael is the crosshead.
Well, it would appear that your beloved Andrew has a red stain on his shank.
That isn't... It's blood. Beyond all reasonable doubt. No! And that's not all. The long sharp piece of this Andrew fellow is completely consistent with the victim's wound. Oh no, this poor man.
Order! The court will enter this friend of the defendant as evidence.
Hold on, let me take a look at it. Let me take a look at it. Let me take a look at it. I've seen this unusually shaped handle before. It's the same screwdriver that was lodged in the grill on the floor of the kinesis machine, which could be important information, so I should definitely make a note of it. Poor Andrew uses a murder weapon slash cover-up. What? Blood. There we go. This is blood. Mr. Assman's, no doubt. This is the problem with looking at murder weapons. Mr. Assman's, no doubt. Are we sure of that, though? How can it be in his chest and still on the machine? You know what? You're so right. Great. The victim was killed before he went anywhere, and this fellow's the only one who could have done it.
Objection!
Nope, that's not it. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. It's just the same here that he wants me to press. Yeah, okay. The corpse when crashing through the crystal tower had a broken neck. Miscalculation. A fatal wound. Hold on, let me So he was definitely killed by whatever pierced his heart first. I'm not sure what the game wants me to do here. Like, honestly, I need to present something. The corpse had a broken neck. Maybe the screwdriver at the 5th statement? Didn't I try that though? Is that not what I tried? I swear that's exactly what I tried. Or the 4th? Nope. I'm gonna save. A broken neck? Does that neck look very broken to you?
Objection.
Apparently it does. Okay, that wasn't a lot of fucking help. Looks like you wind this around in order to draw the bowstring back and create tension. You must be able to fire arrows with a huge amount of force using this device then. In fact, I would imagine it's far more accurate and powerful than a Japanese longbow. Ugh, I really had no idea what I was picking up when I spotted this at the exhibition grounds. Yeah, I'll try the crossbow. This groove here. It must be where the arrows are loaded, I suppose. So I was right. It's a sort of bow with an automatic firing mechanism. This won't be perfect for someone like me who catches his ear with a bowstring 2 times out of 3. In fact, if I had one of these, maybe I could have beaten Kazuma in Kyudo archery training.
Objection.
Nope. What about the 5th one?
Objection.
Nope. Well, fuck me then, I guess.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty!
Kill me.
So, okay. You repressed the list statements? I think I did. I believe I did. I can go through them again, though. Just to make sure. Oh my god. Court is adjourned indeed. We never lost this one before. Let's just resume. Here we go. Yeah. Let's go here. Press. Yeah, no, we press this one. And I know we pressed this one.
Hold it!
This one. Yeah, we did this one.
Hold it!
This thing, that's where we got the screwdriver. I think. Yeah.
Hold it!
Yeah, no, we definitely pressed everything.
Great Scott!
Oh my fucking god, I hate this when you have to go through them all. Ah. Someone else on the stage with the victim could possibly have done it. Okay.
Excuse me!
What do you have to say? Professor Limone, do you have some information that may be relevant here? Professor! Sorry! I was just calculating the optimum coefficient of electrolysis to separate molecules in the human body. And the witness stand is the best place for that? It seemed as though you might have something to say about Inspector Gregson's last remark. Ah! Yes, that's right, of course. He just said that nobody else could have done it, didn't he? Yeah, that's right. Who else could have stabbed the victim, eh? I don't know, but there is no way that I could possibly have stabbed Mr. Assman, as you say. Eh? Explain, please, Professor. Of course, this cold-hearted policeman may not be aware, I suppose. But humans are warm-blooded mammals with blood running continuously through their veins. I had heard. Then surely you see, if I'd plunged something the size of Andrew into the man's chest, the whole stage would have been a bloodbath. No, a blood swimming pool. But thousands of Londoners were watching me at the time. And yet not one of them claims to have seen a swimming pool of blood. Well, no, I suppose not. You see? Not one! True, I didn't see anything like that. Well done, Professor. That was a great counter-argument. How is he gonna fuck it up? There's no way you can say, that was a great counter-argument, and then not fuck it up. Like, this is an Ace Attorney game. No way that's not happening. Order! Pray forgive the discourtesy if I savor a drop from my hallowed chalice to accompany my old friend's adducing. Here's to you, Clement. Oh, you're too kind, Barak. But I'm really not a patch on you. No, you're not. No? You've neglected to mention one crucial possibility. I have? A particular situation in which very little bleeding would result from a stab wound. Of course. Inspector, enlighten the court, please. Yes, sir. If he leaves it in, yeah. Where are they going with this?
Very well. You will amend your formal testimony now, Inspector Gregson.
When the victim was stabbed with must have been left in his body whilst he was beamed through the air. Okay, cool.
Objection!
There we go. You say that while the weapon remains in the body, there is very little bleeding. Is that unequivocal? Look, there was no blood on the experimentation stage, and even though that's where the fellow was stabbed. The only explanation for that is if the screwdriver was still in his body, stopping any heavy bleeding. It's common medical knowledge, my learned friend, even on your side of the world. Yes, but about this screwdriver. The thing is, we actually saw it at the scene ourselves, on the experimentation stage. What? It was on the floor by the wreckage of the machine, poking through the metal grill. I went to pick it up, but the detective here stopped me. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson?
Well, now you come to mention it. Yes.
Inspector, are we to understand that you permitted the defense counsel to investigate? That you contravened the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act?
No, not at all. I wouldn't do that. I just let him look, nothing more. I was very clear it wasn't to touch a thing.
Yes, that's true. This screwdriver was in plain sight on the stage. But it shouldn't have been, should it?
What are you getting at?
If this tool had still been in the victim's body when the victim was beamed away by the machine, then it shouldn't have still been on the stage. That's right. It should have been beamed across to the Crystal Tower along with Mr. Assman. And been found still lodged in the victim's chest.
Order! How do you explain this, Inspector? I don't...
It looks as though everything that the victim had on his person moved with him when he was beamed. If the screwdriver was still in his chest when the instantaneous kinesis occurred, obviously that should have been beamed to the destination as well. This is a strange situation. Even though people are saying that this instantaneous kinesis is a scientific impossibility, we're still basing arguments on the assumption that it did actually take place. Alright, time to tighten the screws here. My lord, if the prosecution is unable to explain this inconsistency in its argument, we can only conclude that the testimony given in support cannot be relied upon. Lord van Zieks is stumped.
Do you have something to say, witness?
Yes. I knew it. Bears out. The equations hold. Mr. Naruhodo! Don't worry! About what? Without delving into the details, there's no inconsistency. What? Even if Andrew had been lodged in Mr. Assman's chest, my trusty tool wouldn't have moved. Andrew remaining on the stage is consistent with my calculations. What?
Say, God.
It would seem your illusions have been shattered. Clearly, we should hear the accused's explanation. Or should I say, this brilliant scientist's explanation. Just when I'd found an inconsistency in the prosecution's argument. Scientists.
Very well. The defendant will testify again. Provide us with the scientific explanation as to why the inconsistency asserted by the defense fails to hold.
In the name of Apollo? I mean... Cheeky game, cheeky. I will, my lord. To be clear, I am still at the stage of gathering data in my research. My hypothesis states that kinesis cannot transport metal, though. Hence, the metal weapon would have stayed put. Okay, what other metal stuff does he have on him? Glasses? Does that count? Or whatever the fuck these are? He was wearing clearly metal glasses, yeah. My hypothesis states that kinesis cannot transport metal, though, hence the metal weapon would have stayed put. In other words, the point just raised by Mr. Naruhodo isn't an inconsistency at all. Mr. Assman was the patron of my research. Without him, my work wouldn't have been possible. Now I have a duty to protect the incredible machine that we built together. My god. Naruhodo is just so tired.
So, the thrust of your testimony, Professor, is
that based upon his hypotheses, metal objects cannot be moved by this method of instantaneous kinesis. Imagine your own client destroying your argument. That's just Ace Attorney for you. Really?
In other words,
since the screwdriver is made of metal, even if it remained lodged in the victim's chest, its subsequent discovery on the stage despite the victim being found elsewhere is not an inconsistency.
And therefore,
Professor Clement Limone, struggling, could still have been the killer. My great hypothesis holds, you see? We had to make the cage used to contain the subject from wood for that very reason.
I was not addressing you, witness.
Professor Limone. Yes? Whose side are you on here? I don't take sides, Mr. Naruhodo. No. My only interest lies in upholding my hypotheses. I'm a scientist after all. Is he working for us? Is he working for us or against us? It's very hard to tell. Let's see how you cross-examine this testimony, my Nipponese friend. Sure! Fire away! Yeah, I will! I fucking will! And I don't know what's gonna happen if it's not the fucking glasses.
Objection!
No, it's not. It is. It is. Professor Limone, you say that according to your hypotheses, nothing made of metal can be beamed by instantaneous kinesis using the machine you made. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Spot on. Exactly correct. In that case, I'd ask you to have a look at this photograph that was taken at the scene. In particular, I'd like you to pay attention to the victim's face. You can clearly see that Mr. Assman is wearing a pair of spectacles with a metal rim. Metal? No! Metal can't! That's not... metal! We're just ruining his fucking life. I feel so bad. We've already established that the proposed murder weapon, the screwdriver, was found on the stage. However, if your hypotheses correctly predicted that outcome, it should also have predicted that the metal-rimmed spectacles would be found in the same place. My hypotheses! My hypotheses! Professor Limone, this isn't easy for me to say, but your hypotheses fucking sucks!
Order! Counsel, what is the implication of this?
If, on the day in question, the alleged instantaneous kinesis never actually took place, then it's entirely possible that the victim was killed somewhere other than the stage. And in that case, someone other than the defendant could have been the culprit. But my hypothesis is sound! I proved it that day. The experiment was a success. The experiment was proof of all my work. I could say something here, in my capacity as a fellow of the Royal Society.
Yes, juror number 4, go ahead.
As a man of science, there is one thing I simply cannot abide. And that's a fraud who pretends to be a fellow man of science. Wait! Great Scott! Are you suggesting my science is suspect? It's just been disproved, hasn't it? In front of all of us. In other words, the whole demonstration was a complete nonsense. From start to finish. Believe me, my fellow jurors, when I tell you that this man is a heel, a bounder, and a fraud. I say the wreckage of that machine should be stripped down and thoroughly examined. No, never! That machine is the essence of my entire hypothesis! It's protected by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act! The devil is that blasted act all about, eh? Who made up such a daft rule? I don't like the way this seems to be going. What's the best way for me to help the professor? Raise an objection?
Objection!
Professor Limona has yet to perfect his invention. That would seem to be the case, yes? But even so what? Going to such trouble and expense to create a fake machine to display in public. He would have absolutely no reason to do such a thing.
Objection!
Oh, would he now? He had an obvious reason to do exactly that. For the research grant money. If the government was foolish enough to have deemed the man's ridiculous notion plausible, he and his conspirators would have received a handsome sum indeed. Conspirators? What would be the value of such a grant? 10 pounds? 10 pounds? You're an order of magnitude out, madam. 500 pounds a year! Could live handsome on that much for years, okay. The society's noticed an increase in bogus public demonstrations in the field of science recently. And plenty of scientists arguing with each other to get the largest slice of the funding cake. People's greed is plenty motive enough for murder, I assure you. Oh, no! I haven't deceived anyone! Least of all the government! My hypothesis is sound! The science is sound! Please, you must believe me! No matter how unbelievable this hypothesis may seem to you, ladies and gentlemen, the fact remains that the victim was transported instantly to the Crystal Tower. Which means that the experiment was a success. A rock! And therefore, the only person who could possibly have committed this murder is the accused. Barak! Where is this heading? I have no idea. My lord, if I may.
Yes, Lord Van Six?
The prosecution would like to summon new witnesses to the stand.
New witnesses? What would be the nature of their involvement?
Which one is gonna be named fucking Archer? Archie? It was spectators of the demonstration at the exhibition who were occupying special seats. Eyewitnesses.
Very well, the court grants the prosecution's request. I should very much like to hear from eyewitnesses to the incident.
The prosecution's stance is clear. This experiment was no postige. The accused killed the financier victim there, on the public stage, before the very eyes of the spectators. Now, my learned friend. Oh, yes? It's time for you to make your own stance clear. There's clearly a flaw in the professor's hypotheses. I can definitely see that. But where does that leave me?
We shall take a short recess now, during which time the prosecution will prepare its new witnesses to take the stand.
As you wish, my lord.
Good. In that case, court is adjourned for 20 minutes.
Oh! That really was just this part. I was like, there is no way that was just the entire part. Well, trial part number 2, I guess. I was not expecting the 2 to continue now. Yeah, no, me neither. Mr. Naruhodo! What on earth were you playing at just now? Or rather, what on earth were you playing at all along? My hypotheses! My amazing hypotheses! You've been picking holes in it from the start! Sorry about that. You promised me. You said you'd prove the dreaded explosion was an accident, not murder. You said you'd keep my precious invention from falling into anyone else's hands. But all you've done so far is try to undermine me. Yes, I did make you a promise, you're right. I said that I'd believe in you and fight for your freedom to the very end. But I also told you I was no scientist. I don't understand your hypotheses. The fact is, there is an undeniable flaw in your logic, isn't there? But if I just run through some equations... Yes, you see, it's because my work is incomplete. Perhaps it is. Nevertheless, a man died as a consequence, didn't he? Right. You're so right. It's all my fault. And I have no right to blame you for my failures. I'm a disaster. Not just as a scientist, but as a human being. Well, that might be a little over the top. And while we're on the subject, what about Barack? He's being awful. Blaming his old university friend to be a murderer, you mean? He's a disaster. Not just as a prosecutor, but as a human being. Oh, but no, wait, he's a Reaper, isn't he? Perhaps he's not classified as Homo sapiens anymore. Glad that's cleared up. Can I double check something with you? Yes? What? The machine and demonstration you prepared, they were based entirely on your hypotheses, I presume. There was no trickery involved. I drew the plans for the machine with my very own hands. Every line was painstakingly drawn with the firm belief that science is the only future. So yes, it's true that my hypothesis hasn't reached, perhaps? Maturity yet, but please, Mr. Naruhodo, you must believe in it. Alright, Professor, I understand. We're going back in? Yep, they're ready to take the stand. And we gotta go back inside. Let's go. Did he build the machine himself? Good question. It all hinges on that demonstration. If the professor's hypothesis is sound as he claims, it leaves him as the only person who could possibly have killed the victim. But on the other hand, Mr. Sholmes was adamant. Practical implementation, such as was attempted by the professor at the Great Exhibition, is quite impossible. It could have been the underwear party and a scam. True. So really, what should I be trying to prove here? His innocence? Is that not what you do? Literally, the hypothesis doesn't fucking matter. Just focus on what makes him innocent.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby reconvene the proceedings of this court. Counsels for the defense and prosecution, are you ready for the new witnesses to testify?
The prosecution is ready, my lord. Assist the defense, my lord.
So, Lord Van Styx, I believe these next witnesses saw the demonstration on the day in question with their own eyes.
Indeed they did. And as luck would have it, one of them is a police detective. So the testimony we are about to hear can be considered highly reliable. Perfect, a detective of all people. The prosecution's stance remains unchanged. Though it ended in tragedy, the demonstration on the day in question was scientifically sound. It's going to be Gina, isn't it? Oh boy. And consequently, the sole person with the opportunity to have committed this act of murder is the only other individual to have been present on the stage at the time, the accused.
Thank you, counsel. The prosecution's position is clear. So, bring forth your witnesses now.
Bailiff, show the witnesses in. The witnesses whose proximity to the incident on the day in question will clarify the truth unequivocally. Well, yeah, one of them is surely Gina. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court to hear. My name is Balthazar Loon. Val Loon? Really? The small boy reminds me of, oh my god, what's his fucking name? The fucking... The kid that was with Lamirar. What was his name? The fucking smuggler, I guess. Maktubai! Like, I literally only call him Maki because that's his name in Japanese, and the pun is like supposed to be similar or something. Like, the pun is like much to buy or something, I don't fucking know. But calling him Machi just doesn't sound right. Maki. I am the impresario of all the hot air balloons in vicinity of the experimental stage. Ah, is he Italian?
Mein Name ist Wilhelm Gottsreich Sigismund Ormstein. I have come to see the great exhibition all the way from my home in Bohemia.
Wait.
I am very rich. Inspector Gina Lestrade, Scotland Yard. I'm a great detective, even though like Sherms are great. I was on security duty at the exhibition, and I got to go up on them in one of them balloons. It was amazing.
Gina, again. She did mention that she'd seen the disaster from up in a balloon, actually, didn't she? Wait, I just realized he doesn't have the fucking armband anymore. Yeah, he still, like, moves it. I kind of like that. Like, I guess you could kind of look at it as like, oh, they didn't even bother to, like, put something that even could resemble it or whatever on this outfit. But I think it's just kind of like a phantom thingy. The mouse? Oh, I've noticed the mouse a long time ago. But I didn't want to, like, comment on it just yet. Not for any particular reason, really. I just wanted to wait. But yeah, I feel like because he, like, still does the, like, arm thing to, like, hitch up his fucking armband, I feel like it's just because he's so used to having it there that he still does it just out of fucking, what's the word, reflex. If you do something for long enough, it becomes a habit, so it makes sense that he would do it even if he's not wearing it. Yeah. She did mention that she'd seen the statue from up in a balloon, actually, didn't she? And she clearly loved every minute of it. There were 3 balloons flying near the public experimentation stage where the incident occurred. 2 of these witnesses were in one such balloon at the time and saw events unfold from the skies above. You make it sound like they were in the clouds. It was only an altitude of circa 60 feet, very low. Well, you can't see nothing if you fly too high, can ya? 60 feet, about 18 meters then. Doesn't fucking say.
Thank you for your introductions. Now you will give your formal testimony for the court. Kindly describe exactly what you witnessed, especially those of you who had a vantage point above the stage.
It was an incidente terrible. I am only grateful that my balloons were not damaged. There's this huge bang from the stage, and then the next second another bang in the sky beside us.
I'm struggling with the German right now.
And from amid the smoke, a cage appeared out of nowhere.
The cage, it fell from the sky like a stone and crashed into the crystal tower.
I didn't get a good look inside the cage, but no one went near it after it crashed into the tower.
God, this is I feel like I'm just going all over the fucking place.
A most extraordinary collective account, I must say.
So, 3 so very distinctive voices. This is gonna be a lot. This is the great battle of the accents: Cockney, Italian, and German. Right? And my Italian is not very good. Could I just clarify something? There's a detail in the witness's testimony that I've not heard any mention of until now. So specifically, that there were 2 explosions? More precisely, 2 explosions in 2 separate places. Yes. When the demonstration began, the balloon carrying the 2 witnesses was around here. There were other balloons in an air nearby at the time, carrying other passengers as well, to be clear. Then, as power was applied to the machine for the demonstration, the first explosion occurred. The so-called birdcage that contained the victim disappeared from the stage, and a moment later, the second explosion occurred directly adjacent to the balloon carrying the witnesses. It's almost as if it was the balloon itself. Strange, huh? Yeah, I wonder how that could possibly... What a coincidence! Wow! I love how I saw this so fucking early. I usually am so fucking stupid with these, honestly. The birdcage appeared at the site of the explosion, subsequently to plummet down into the crystal tower. What a mystery. I hope we can figure it out.
I was very surprised. Suddenly a cage appeared before my eyes with... Nope. A person inside. The blast was so hot, but I didn't want to miss a thing, so I kept my eyes wide. I still have lots of money.
Good for you, my guy. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm rich. This kid is just like... Oh my god, I love the kid.
Precisely, who is this curious infant?
I'm told he's a young noble of Bohemian royalty. Apparently, he disguised himself in order to steal unnoticed into the Great Exhibition. Okay, I'm with this kid.
Yeah, I am here in London on a sightseeing trip with my elementary school.
We will have the benefit of a child's point of view in the testimony. Do we really need that? I am very rich, right? He like gives his fucking testimony and then it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, I have money. I still have money. The money? Yeah, it's still on me. Oh, yeah, I'm still rich. Like, hello.
When I remove my mask, this is what I look like.
Ah, yes, I see. A delightful face, I'm sure.
Yeah, everybody says so.
Great disguise then. The point is, the testimony of these witnesses further substantiates the facts for the court. Namely, that despite ending in an explosion, instantaneous kinesis was successfully demonstrated. Just in case we're all worried about it, I am still very rich. That's him. That's him in a character. That's his character just summed up to a T. Just wonderful. Love that for him. And furthermore, that until the arrival of the police, no one approached the crystal tower where the victim fell. Therefore, only the accused who was with Mr. Osman on the stage could possibly have committed the murder.
Yes, thank you, counsel. The prosecution's view on the matter are quite clear. So, the defense's cross-examination now, please.
Yes, my lord. His fucking name is Balloon. I'm only grateful that my balloons were not damaged. Interesting, okay. There were 3 balloons flying above the experimentation stage at the time, I understand. See, all 3 of them, my bellissimi bambini. They are very popular, signor. Some people will pay £10 for one ride. £10? That's more than my annual stipend.
£20 a month. That is my pocket money.
Okay. Good for you. Royals have all the luck.
I got up there for free, I did. By the old I work for Her Majesty's police card, you know.
Detectives have all the luck. If they're so popular, why would you only be operating such a small number of balloons, though? In case we forgot, he's rich. Because if I have too many in the skies, they could crash into each other. The operators for the balloons were decided by lots, with each operator manning a particular area. See, and the zone above the public experimentation stage is the most profitable. The other impresarios, they hate me.
Thank you, witness. I think the court has a clear picture of the arrangements for balloon rides at the exhibition. Perhaps we could hear more about what you actually witnessed of the incident.
Right, I can fill you in there, my lord.
Hold it!
So you actually saw the accident happen from up in the air?
Yup. Isn't it amazing what a detective gets to do, eh? I'm telling you, Otto, being a lawyer's a mug's game. You should join the force and we can go flying together.
You know me so well. Yes, well, anyway, could you tell us exactly what you saw, do you think?
Everything! We saw everything, because we were up above it all. That dodgy cove climbing onto the cage, into that cage, and that dodgy professor pulling all them levers. That's when it happened. That's when there was that massive bang and that cage disappeared just like that.
You are describing the moment the subject's body was decomposed by the electricity, I believe.
I didn't know what to make of it. But then there was another bang, right in my ear. I looked around and there was a huge great fireball right next to us in the sky. And there was nothing there before.
Is he just gonna tell us that he's rich? Please. Please. Do tell us how rich you are.
Excuse me.
Master Gotts, does your memory of the day differ?
My teacher at elementary school said that when you meet someone for the first time, you should always use your full name.
Their full name. Yes, what was it again?
Wilhelm Gottsreich Sigismund Ormstein.
Just the four names then? The point is, do you have something to say? Something to add in response to Detective Gina Lestrade's last remark, perhaps?
Oi, get it right, Otto! It's Inspector Lestrade.
Why does everyone have a problem with how I address them at the moment?
That is not what I saw.
Oh?
Yeah, there was a second explosion, and it was right beside our balloon. That is true. But I'm sure. Which is what I say, isn't it? 1 minute there was nothing there, and the next thing is a massive explosion. My teacher at elementary school said that when someone else is speaking, if you are rude enough to interrupt, you will have the most awful life imaginable.
Are all Bohemians brought up to be so full of joy? Here we go! What an elementary teacher.
Just before the second explosion happened next to our balloon, I clearly witnessed a green balloon flying in the sky.
A green balloon?
Aye? You what? I never saw nothing like that. Well, I did. I saw it. And you can't say I didn't. I will complain to the consul. I will cry and scream. My testimony is the truth. I am Bohemian Prince. You cannot say it's a lie. That is not allowed.
Buying the bleeding royalty card, are you? Typical. Says the orphan who likes to remind people she works for Her Majesty's police.
In that case, young man, I must ask you to amend your formal testimony in the interest of the cordial national relations between Great Britain and Bohemia.
And here we can see that he's very rich. Not the sky. It was a green balloon.
Objection.
No, fuck me. I gotta press it first. At the very least, I got full marks. Well, not anymore, I guess. It's fine.
Hold it.
Okay, let me press this. A green balloon, you say? Are you sure about that?
Of course I am sure. I am a proud Bohemian Prince. All these questions are making me boring.
I think you mean bored.
Ugh. English is very annoying. The language of my countrymen is far superior.
English is very annoying? English is very annoying. Kid, you speak German. German is fucking annoying. Source, I took German for 3 years. Gave up after 1. English is honestly 3 languages in your trench coat. I mean, true. True, I'm not saying that English is, like, not annoying. But he's German. German is not better. German is fucking worse. I was able to learn English. I was not able to learn fucking German. There is just too much fucking happening with fucking everything. Like, I was fine with the grammar up until a certain point. And then it was just like, nope. I used to have an A in German, then I forgot. I actually, granted it was only for like a test, but like my very first like 6, which is pretty much like an A, that I got at school was a German test. And I was just like, oh my god. I mean, sure, but then it just got like way too complicated. What with all of the fucking, what's it called, like, cannot think right now. It's complicated. It does get complicated quick. Yeah. What always fucked me up was the DDoS there. Oh, yeah, der DDoS. I mean, der DDoS is kind of fine. Because that's still, like, in the realms of, like, what I'm used to. But it's when you get all the other ones. Like, fucking damn, den, and just all of those. They add more grammar and my head died. Yeah! That's it. I was just like, nope. Can't do this anymore. It's too much. Huh. Like, is it conjugations? Is that what I'm thinking about? Something. I don't fucking know. Ragazzo, it is very wrong to lie. Lie? Flying balloons never explode. For the same reason the planets never explode. It is logical. Please tell me that doesn't mean logical.
You insult me. You insult all of Bohemia.
Madai.
I will have the army come out, shoot you out, your stupid balloons at the sky, all of them.
Here you are, your highness. If only all international incidents were so easily resolved. I fucking butchered that fucking line for that kid, but who cares? It adds to the fucking character that he just fucking can't speak English properly. Now that peaceful relations have been restored here in the courtroom, perhaps we could return to the testimony. Did you also see the moment that the cage materialized, Mr. Loon? No, I did not see the esplosione myself. However, the cage, it fell from the sky like a stone and crashed into the crystal tower. I got, okay, let me just press this. Did you see that actually happen? No, in reality I did not. I saw after it hit the tower. There was a grande confusion about the stage. Confusione. I ran to see what had happened. I was terrorized by the idea that one of my balloons had crashed. I suppose they are his livelihood. But when I looked up to the sky, all my precious balloons were still there. I saw it though. I saw it slam into the tower after all. Tower, after all, I'm a detective now. Then tell us what you saw, Inspector Lestrade. That's what I like to hear.
Hold it!
Was it you who gave the order to keep people away?
Hey, use your red, Dodo. How could it have been me? I was up in the balloon, weren't I?
Right.
So because I weren't available, it was the boss who had to leg it over there. It was getting shoved and kicked all over by the panicking spectators as he tried to seal off the scene. It was a right sight to behold, I can tell you. Amazing.
She could have shouted really loud. I feel like I'm shouting really loud. I feel like I'm fucking yelling into the microphone. Poor Inspector Gregson. So anyway, I couldn't see the cage that well because of all the smoke. And I didn't really want to see, to be honest. I was scared at me wits. Keep it together, Inspector. Prosecution really is asserting that the demonstration was genuine. But what if it was actually some kind of switch-around trick instead? That would mean that the victim was never actually on the stage in the first place. The two explosions would have thrown everyone watching into a panic for sure. I think I need to find out more about what exactly people saw at the time. Come on. Come fuck! Let me go back! Did I press this? I don't know. I did, okay. Maybe the green fabric on the first statement? Ah!
Objection!
Yes! Thank you. Mr. Loon, in your testimony, you said that all three of the balloons you had operating at the time were undamaged. See, that is correct. If they had been caught in the explosiones, it would have been terrible. I wonder, you might know what this is. Ah, I think it may be. See, part of balloon, a burnt piece of the fabric of the envelope. Envelope. Sorry, the envelope? Pardon. That is the... how do you say... Is it pardon? No, that's French. Pardon. I don't know. That is the large round part of the balloon which becomes filled with hot air. It is made from very thick fabric lined with rubber. You do not want it to rip when you are in the sky. Just as I thought. This piece of cloth was found near the experimentation stage. In other words, as Master Gotts testified, a green balloon did indeed explode that day. There. If all the balloons in the sky above the experimentation stage belong to you, Mr. Loon, then your statement that they were all undamaged clearly contradicts the evidence. The balloon exploded that day. I can't read. Everyone on board was killed. I just spent £10 for the experiments. How awful. Just be like those things crash 50% of the time anyway.
Objection!
Hold that thought, Fanseeks. Let me just read about what they just said. If a balloon exploded that day, why didn't the man say so? Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to know. The instantaneous kinesis did occur, but after the explosion on the stage. The point of materialization shifted to a location occupied by a balloon. Oh, was it now? Strange, huh? Almost as if something could have fallen from the fucking balloon. Physics.
Causing the balloon to explode? Yes, eminently plausible.
An unfortunate traffic accident, as it were, but it changes nothing about the pertinent facts. This I cannot accept! Why not, Mr. Loon? You are suggesting that I am a liar! That persons died in the balloon incidente! There's no need to get fired up, Mr. Loon. The victim was a sole fatality that day. That's right, and I prove it! Balthazar Loon is not a liar! There was no such balloon in the sky, it is not possible! What a coincidence! Almost as if there can be a better explanation than instantaneous kinesis. Yeah. You're saying it's impossible. Why? This court has more important matters to discuss than the number of balloons that were operating that day. Fanseeks, shut the fuck up! Let me do my fucking job!
Objection!
But we can't ignore the fact that nobody appears to have known anything about this other balloon until now. My lord, the defense calls for further testimony from Mr. Loon.
I concur. There's clearly more to the truth here than meets the eye. It's imperative that we clear up the issue of this phantom balloon, I feel. Witness, you will give supplementary testimony about the balloons that you were operating at this exhibition.
Ah, grazie, my lord. My lord. As I said, Balthasar Loon is no liar. Every balloon I had in the sky landed safely. All 3 of my balloons were carrying passengers. If they fell to the ground in an explosione, what a catastrophe. I don't fucking know. But you can't get away from the fact that a bunch of bit of cloth was found at the crime scene. Was found at the scene, can you?
Struggling.
The coppers at the yard reckon it was probably some debris thrown from the explosion on the stage.
This stupido ragazzo is mistaken. My balloons have the red and blue zigzag stripes anyway.
So your assertion is that the balloon this child saw was not the one belonging to you?
Si, exactamente. If we even saw a balloon in the first place, I do not like the sound of it. It is very bad for business. I have a good mind to sue the land of Bohemia.
If you attack us, we will fight back. It will be war, all out war.
What happened to all-out war? Mr. Loon certainly doesn't appear to be lying. That doesn't change the fact that the testimony and evidence are contradictory here. If the defense isn't able to find fault with the witness's statements, the court must consider them the truth. Think long and hard on that, my learned friend. The situation has clearly changed now. I have to get to the bottom of what happened here, no matter what it takes.
Counsel, you may now cross-examine the witnesses.
Okay. Mr. Loon's testimony doesn't add up. The young Bohemian boy claims to have seen another 4th balloon. But Mr. Loon vehemently denies the possibility. And it's hard to imagine the man in charge could be mistaken about the number that were in the air. Still, this inconsistency must tell us something. Sure. Okay, I guess I'll just have to press everything, I guess. You couldn't just have forgotten one, maybe? Signor. I might not notice if I was given 100 lentils and one was missing. But we are talking about 3 enormous balloons! Do you believe I could make a mistake about something so grand and expensive? I took the liberty of having Inspector Gregson check this gentleman's warehouse. I have the report here. It clearly says a total of 3 balloons.
It would appear no mistake has been made then.
Surely Miss Lestrade could have been sent for such a menial task.
What, me? I'll tell you what I told the boss. East End kids like me can only count up to 2. Obviously that ain't true, but the boss spotted and said he'd have to go himself in that case.
Huh. I dislike how his hat pulsates when he is angry. I didn't notice it until you said it. Why did you have to say it?
Hold it!
It would be quite a catastrophe if they fell to the ground for any reason, I think. On that note, Mr. Loon, tell me, what is it that keeps these balloons in the sky? Thanks, I hate it. Yeah. Are you an idiota? Sorry? That is like asking, why does a candle burn bright? It burns bright because it burns bright. And the balloon flies because it flies. What else? I don't... That must be Italian for I don't know. There are two types of flying balloons. Hot air balloons and gas balloons. Hot air balloons work on the principle of hot air being less dense than cold air, whereas gas balloons derive their lift by using a gas that is lighter than air. See, and my balloons are filled with a magic gas, I believe. Hydrogen, lighter than air, but highly explosive.
Good lord.
I do not permit smoking of the cigarettes in any of my balloons. The magic gas is not like fire. Even a small spark of static electricity could cause the entire balloon to explode. Oh, what is the matter with you, signor? All that comes out of your mouth is esplosione. Fuck me. I tell you, my balloons are perfectly safe. They have to be or I cannot eat. None of my balloons exploded that day, I am completely sure. But if you still say that is what happened, you must show me the proof. Alright, so Mr. Loon had 3 balloons in the air that day. If none of them were damaged, then what was the one that exploded? You say magic gas?
Hold it!
I was surprised to find the piece of fabric still at the scene, actually. Didn't you search the area surrounding the stage for clues? Nah, I'm not into picking stuff up off the ground, me. Always works out way better, diving into people's pockets instead. So much for the new career path. Mind you, the boss was on his hands and knees picking up all kinds of rubbish from the floor. Thing is though, a cage went crashing into the crystal tower, didn't it? So that's where most of the investigation was going on. Even so, I would have thought someone from Scotland Yard would have gathered it up as evidence.
Court, listen to you! You stumble across a bit of balloon and suddenly you're the best investigator in the world.
Pardon?
What, you ain't got a badge, have you? Like this one? I could arrest you with this if I wanted to.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Come to think of it, there was talk of some scorching on the ground at a meeting we had about the investigation. The coppers at the yard reckon, okay, some debris.
There was considerable damage to the stage and surrounding area, wasn't there?
Yeah, some of the coves what were watching the experiment were caught in the blast and injured. Good job the old contraption didn't keel over, right?
I hadn't even considered that. It seems there was great panic after the incident occurred. Nevertheless, the police shouldn't have missed a torn piece of the envelope from a balloon. Inspector Gregson can expect repercussions.
Like me swiping all his fish and chips, eh?
The man's sole pleasure.
None of this matters. That scrap of balloon envelope means nothing. Niente.
Hold it!
You mean the color is wrong? Si, signor. I do not have any green balloons in my warehouse. And yet, a piece of green cloth was found at the scene, and it's unmistakably from a balloon. Well, I do not know how that can be. For the sake of argument, let's say that the green balloon did explode above the stage. You couldn't therefore conclude that it happened on the day in question. Why not? There have been recreational balloon flights over Hyde Park operating from before the Great Exhibition. One could have exploded on some earlier date, unfortunate as I'm sure you'd agree.
You believe it may have been from some earlier balloon accident that predates the exhibition?
Si, exactamente. As the signor says, it is from one of my balloons. Clearly, this little ragazzo from Bohemia is mistaken about what he saw.
Excuse me.
Okay, I guess not. Is something wrong, Master?
It's Master Wilhelm Gottsreich, Sigismund Ormstein. Stein.
Fuck me. It wasn't the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, something is very wrong. I know what I saw. There was a green balloon there. I swear it. I swear it all over Bohemia.
You can speak as much bad language as you like, but it changes nothing. If we do not have evidence, ragazzo, then I must tell your parents to punish you, eh? Perhaps we'll let the judge decide when it comes to punishments.
Evidence? What is this evidence?
To give a simple example, young man. A photograph, for instance. Some tangible proof.
Oh, sorry, hi! I'm so sorry! Hello?
Some tangible proof of what you claim.
Well, why didn't you say so sooner? I have the photograph here.
Good gracious.
What?
I had not been up in a balloon for a little while, so I was very excited. I took lots and lots of photographs. Of the Crystal Tower, of the Bohemian exhibit, of the streets of London, of the hot eel cellar, the balloon.
And the instantaneous kinesis experiment? Did you take a picture of that?
Yeah, one picture.
Really? You did take one?
But all I wanted was a ride in a balloon. I was not interested in boring experiments.
Never mind that. Can you show us that photograph?
Of course. And then you will see. You will see that I am not lying. That I really did see a green balloon.
That looks green to me. I forget. We don't actually have fucking colored pictures. I mean, I guess we do, but in this case, not.
Well, I see you are all too shocked to speak.
Yes, I think shocked is indeed the word, young man.
Yeah, perhaps you cannot see that it was a green balloon from this photograph, but that is not my fault! That is the fault of the stupid person who made the camera!
Please. The fucking, is it Umlauf? That is one very bohemian sounding cry.
Very well. The court will accept this photograph as evidence.
What do you mean 1-5? I'm sorry. I'm very confused.
It's not my fault. It's the fault of the person who made the camera.
Well, never mind. I'm sure you have plenty of wonderful sepia memories to take home with you. Sepia? Sepia? I don't fucking know. In any case, when exactly did you take that photograph?
Well, it was on the day of the big explosion.
You don't say.
When I pressed the shutter release, there was this very loud bang, and a hot wind rushed over my face.
That means this photograph was taken a split second before the explosion occurred. Well, if you ask me, this black and white photograph changes nothing. I could not give the flying fig. Lovely language you've picked up. As I thought, Mr. Loon's testimony just doesn't quite add up. The young bohemian boy claims to have seen another, fourth balloon. Okay, I already read this part. Okay, there is for sure someone in there. And there he is. Working on the machine. Ooh, is that line of light the crossbow arrow? Could be, yeah. Hold on, let me just check something real quick. Dude. Let me press everything one more time. The green balloon was empty. At least it looks that way. Did all these balloons carried passengers?
Objection!
Okay! I thought we established that that wasn't his balloon, but sure. Unfortunately, the photograph Master Guts took can't tell us the color of the balloon, but it can tell us something else. Something crucially important. Ah, we can prove that it wasn't his balloon. I see. What? It shows that the pictured balloon wasn't carrying any passengers.
My goodness. You're right. But surely all the balloons would have been carrying passengers. There would be no sense in it otherwise.
See, they are for pleasure, for seeing the view. My balloons only fly with passengers.
Which tells us that the pictured balloon isn't one of them. So when the incident occurred that day, there was a fourth balloon in the skies above the experimentation stage. Oh yeah. The mysterious green balloon.
I know nothing, niente. I can only tell you one thing. If this balloon was not carrying passengers, then it was not one of mine.
Objection!
There are illegal tradesmen everywhere you care to look. Clearly, one such entrepreneur decided to capitalize on the opportunity presented by the Great Exhibition. and managed to operate balloon flights on Mr. Loon's patch without him realizing. See, the competizione, trying to steal my profits. I did not notice because of the esperimento that went wrong on the stage. This fourth balloon exploded at the very same moment Mr. Assman was beamed from the stage below. Right, so them scraps that fell to the ground after and left them scorch marks. They didn't come from the stage at all. It was bits of the balloon raining down. Because no one was in it, it didn't get no attention. A mysterious fourth balloon carrying no passengers, silently floating over the experimentation stage. This photograph shows us nothing more. A stray balloon carrying no one and operated by some rogue trader. Clearly it has nothing to do with the case.
Its relevance does elude me, I must say.
The court has seen sufficient evidence and heard ample testimony already. The prosecution calls for this trial to be concluded. Really? Have we really got to the truth yet? No, I can't let this opportunity slip away. The jurors' minds are made up, and not in our favor. What else can this photograph tell us? Is there nothing more we can learn from it? There's more!
Objection!
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wait! Please don't give your decisions yet. The photograph of Master Guts may well be hiding one more vital clue. What's that? A vital clue!
Objection!
We're well past the point of mere possibilities. It's time for definitives now. So tell the court. What exactly does this alleged clue in the photograph prove? The cause of the explosion. We can reasonably assume that the picture balloon was destroyed in the searing heat of the explosion.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was not my fault.
Evidently. Because the birdcage from the kinesis machine materialized in the sky where it had been flying. And the balloon, being filled with flammable hydrogen, instantly and explosively ignited.
Objection!
No, that's not what happened. What?
It would appear that this photograph requires closer examination. Counsel for the defense, you will highlight the location of this alleged clue in the photograph for the court.
Of course, my lord. If you look closely, it's plain enough to see, and what's shown is linked to another piece of evidence we have. In a way, that leads to an unbelievable conclusion. The clue that heavily suggests the real reason the balloon exploded is right here, officer.
Take that!
The timing of this photograph can only be described as miraculous. If you look, you'll notice there's a bright white line that appears to point directly at the balloon, most likely a ray of light caught incidentally on the film.
I'm afraid I can see nothing of the sort.
If you look with the magnifying glass, my lord, it becomes clear what the nature of this bright line really is.
Goodness, what is that?
Undeniably some flash of light, yes. Oh golly, do you think it might be lightning? It couldn't have been a finer day. I believe we may be looking at fire. Bolt of fire heading straight for the balloon, like an arrow.
Indeed, even to my aging eyes, it would appear to be a flame of some sort.
Oh god, do we have a literal child to thank for getting an innocent verdict? I mean, if it's his, it's fine.
My word, are you suggesting this flame struck the hydrogen gas?
The hydrogen gas! No! The hydrogen gas that filled the balloon.
Objection!
That's absurd. The balloon would have been 60 feet above the ground at the time. Blue is so overrated. Hydrogen jazz is very sad. No flame could possibly have reached such a height.
Objection.
Actually, it's my opinion that a particular piece of evidence found at the scene reveals how that is exactly what did happen. What evidence?
If such evidence exists, Council, then for goodness sake, present it, man. Which evidence explains this mysterious streak of flame that appears to be headed directly for the balloon?
Take that!
Crossbow! There we go! This was found hidden at the foot of a small ornamental tree near the scene.
Good lord, is that a crossbow?
An arrow dipped in oil instead of light could have been shot from this weapon, sending a flaming arrow straight into the hydrogen-filled balloon. Are you suggesting that crossbow was used deliberately?
Blimey, you're right! That streak of light in the photo looks just like an arrow, doesn't it?
Then, with the explosion of the balloon, it was very likely the result of a flaming arrow from this crossbow igniting the hydrogen gas inside it.
Order! Council, this is an extraordinary supposition.
If the aim was to cause the balloon to explode, the shooter could have used a gun, of course. However, there's an obvious reason why that would have been out of the question. The noise of the discharge, of course. That's right. By using a crossbow, the projectile could be fired at the balloon silently.
Well, yeah. If someone had shot a gun off in the exhibition grounds, it would have caused a real panic.
But with the big esplosione, there was a very big panic anyway, no? I don't like this. I should be pleased to have found a plausible new explanation for all this, but something feels wrong.
Objection.
Do you understand the implications of what you're saying, my Nipponese friend? If a flaming arrow did indeed hit the balloon, then obviously it would have exploded. And if the birdcage appeared from the cloud of smoke that ensued...
What? Wait a minute. What are you saying? What are you really saying here? Don't get it. Was the birdcage beamed up into the sky after all? Or what?
My goodness me!
Now I understand. That's what that sinking feeling is about. I think there's a good chance that the birdcage was actually concealed inside the balloon all along. Yeah, I was gonna say that he used that to be able to pull it off. It's Clement's fucking balloon. Isn't it? Oh, fuck.
What? Did I just hear that correctly, Council?
There's no going back now. The horse is bolted. Let's assume, as I said, that the birdcage was hidden inside the green balloon from the start. Or maybe it is, as you said, that he wasn't aware of that. Of that part of the experiment. Because he actually seems convinced that this would work. Right? It could still be Assman. Maybe Clement is just an easily fooled scientist. I mean, have you met him? He literally did work for Team Rocket that one time. So, it's in character. Point proven. On the stage, the birdcage and the instantaneous kinesis machine disappeared in the cloud of smoke. At that moment, the flaming arrow was fired from the ground. causing the green balloon to explode and drawing the attention of the spectators to the sky above their heads. From amid the smoke, the hidden birdcage then appeared to fall down and crash into the crystal tower. I think you'll all agree it's entirely plausible that what I've just described is the real truth behind the miraculous experiment carried out that day. So a bit like a magic trick, misdirection, yes, but I do not think he was in on it. That seems very unlikely. This is ludicrous. What you've described is no science experiment. It's child's play. A contemptible display of stage magic. Both Mr. Sholmes and Iris said that the experiment was a scientific impossibility. In which case, this is the only way to explain what happened that day. And in any case, the victim's body was found inside the birdcage in the crystal tower. If the instantaneous kinesis didn't take place, how do you explain that? I may put in a word, as a man of magic myself, such apparent discrepancies can easily be explained by some simple deception. Juror number 3! All that would be needed is a doppelganger. Someone who looked very similar to the victim, Mr. Assman. And having this other man appear on stage to front the show as a body double. Yes, of course. So in fact, Mr. Assman must have been inside the birdcage that was concealed inside the balloon right from the start. That balloon would have been filled with hydrogen. Anything hidden inside it would have been scattered to the four winds when it exploded. No one would ever have embarked on such a risky venture. Not necessarily, the explosive force of the balloon gas would very much depend upon the mixture ratio. Juror number 4! Flying balloons are rarely filled with pure hydrogen, but a mixture of other gases such as helium as well. Helium on its own doesn't explode, but by controlling the gas mixture ratio, the explosive force can be altered. The mixture ratio. Obviously, the victim's body would have suffered some burns. That would be unavoidable. But not to such an extent as to render this whole obscene charade impossible. So everything that happened can be explained, logically and scientifically. The explosion that engulfed the stage at the start of the experiment was no accident. It was all part of an elaborate deception, to make it appear that instantaneous kinesis had occurred.
Well, goodness me!
And if we accept that this is what happened, it means that the victim, Mr. Assman, was never present on the public experimentation stage to begin with. In short, he couldn't have been killed by the defendant, who was on stage in full view the entire time. This will be very hard for the prosecution to counter. Lord Von Zieks can't credibly maintain that Professor Limone is the suspect now. Oh, that's a hot take. Oh no, who? Please, don't tell me it's Clement. No. Professor? You can stop now. Just keep your mouth shut, please. Sorry? What's all this about, Mr. Limone? I, Clement Limone, hereby confess that it was me who stabbed Mr. Odie Assman. Yes, it was me, with my faithful friend and partner, Andrew the Screwdriver. What are you doing? Clement, no!
Order! Defendant, explain this sudden confession.
Professor Limone, what are you talking about? It's what I've said all along. I must protect my hypotheses and my precious machine. You stand there and claim it was all a trick, all an elaborate prank, but where's your proof? No, you'd have to examine the machine if you wanted to prove it, but then it would all be over. My beautiful hypotheses would be laid bare. I mean, the indignity of it. It's clear that you drew the plans for the experiment. You didn't actually build it. It's quite conceivable that you were duped, Professor. If you'll just let me... A rock! Yes. I'll cooperate. I'll do whatever you say. I swear it. So please... ensure the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act is adhered to and protect my creation! Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice at this critical juncture. Here's to my learned Nipponese friend. What? And his upcoming attempt to clarify the defense's position in the light of the accused's confession. Do you intend to formally assert that the experiment was nothing more than a conjuring trick? Because the moment you do, the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act that protects the professor's invention will cease to apply. The prosecution will then demand a rigorous examination of the machinery involved in order to establish the truth. However, if you acknowledge that the machine is genuine and instrumental in the victim's murder, any chance of investigating will be crushed, and the confidentiality of the professor's hypotheses preserved.
Well, counsel, what is the defense's official position on this matter?
What Professor Limone, my client, actually asked of me was to prove that the explosion on stage was an accident and protect the secrecy of his hypotheses. But there's no way to do that without implying the professor's guilt. Do I protect my client's life by asserting his innocence, or do I uphold my client's request but see him condemned? Either way, I can't avoid betraying his trust. I've been silent long enough. Isn't talking your trade, my learned friend? Or has all knowledge of English escaped your confused Nipponese mind? Mr. Naruhodo! What kind of question is that? Do I protect his machine or his literal life? He will be hanged for murder, right? I mean, I assume so. There's no escape here. I have to make a choice. It is an impossible one. I have to give up on something, but what? The defense asserts that the defendant's instantaneous kinesis machine was in fact... I'm gonna save... My hypothesis is that it won't matter. Either way, this is gonna be cut off by someone or other. I bet. 100%. But hold on. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. I mean, it will... It would be the Ace Attorney way to do such a thing. Yeah, this doesn't seem like the point in the game where you would have like branching choices. Like, it's not. That's just not how this game works. But like, what I understood from it was that I had to prove it to be an accident for the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act to apply. Right? So how would him being like, oh yeah, no, that was me, how would that make that apply? Right? Because then it... City proved to be a scam, so no longer scientific equipment. I mean, I guess. I'll cooperate and do whatever you say. I swear it's a please. Ensure the special dispensation for scientific equipment act is adhered to and protect my creation. But either way, he is lost. I don't understand what he means at this point. Maybe I'm just thinking about it too hard. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Could very well be. I guess it's because he now confesses that he's the one who stabbed him too. Because that was like the thing earlier, that he didn't stab him, right? And that it couldn't have been him. Damn. I mean, I say it, so it really doesn't matter. Let me choose the machine over his life. I mean, it could very well end here. I could be wrong. Or he could be like, no, it's not how this ends. No, I can't say it. My client places faith in me. Can't just let him down. What must I give up on? It's not the question you have to ask yourself here. It's what can I protect?
No again, Mr. Naruhodo. It's been far too long.
She back? Susato-san! But what are you? Of course, the Susato takedown. That's just the way she greets him at this point. My first Susato takedown in 6 months!
There will be time to talk later, Mr. Naruhodo. For now, we must concentrate on the task at hand.
Which is working out not what I have to give up on, but what I can protect. I know this game! Professor Limone! Yes? Yesterday you told me that science is the pursuit of truth. Well, my job is to pursue the truth too. Yes, of course. And personally, I believe that you didn't stab Mr. Assman. I think you've come to realize something yourself too, haven't you? That your experiment and the machine you built with the victim are questionable. The truth behind that is what we must both pursue now. So, you finally opened your eyes. What? And as for you, Clement, you can't ignore this any longer. Having heard my learned friend's assertion, don't you have something to say? Brock! Lord von Zeeks.
Gosh, never heard him speak that way before.
In truth, there's one thing, something I remember that's of relevance. What? On the day it happened, just before I began the experiment, I saw a man near the stage. A man holding that crossbow.
I beg your pardon?
Professor! Did the man have any distinguishing features? What did he look like? Tall. Taller than me. And thin. Thinner than me, with straight hair, straighter, and wider than mine. Let me see. One less lens than me too. A monocle. A rather stylish black monocle. But one thing in particular will help to positively identify the man, you see. I know him very well. After all, he's the engineer who built my invention. What? He built the machine? You have to grab dinner? No worries. Susato showed up. Susato is here now. That's right. Mr. Ratsman introduced him to me a year ago. He's a man by the name of Enoch Treba. Okay.
Does his name mean something? Members of the jury seem flustered.
Not a name any scientist wishes to hear. The man's an abomination. Not a name any conjurer wishes to hear either. Who on earth is he? I'm afraid this isn't the first tale of this nature that I've heard in scientific circles in connection with that name. There's talk of other flamboyant experiments that turn out to be nothing but stage trickery in the end. Obviously, the rascal is after the government's research grant money. When magicians are in need of money, I have heard of them resorting to these underhand tactics. Some acquaintances of mine, with experience of such things, have mentioned Enoch Dreber's name before. The man is both an engineer and a magician, yes. We're dealing with an unparalleled confidence trickster here. That's Enoch Dreber for you. So it's true then. My invention. My great machine. It was just a grand illusion. Considering what we've just heard about Mr. Dreber's character, I'm sorry to say that sounds increasingly likely. I was just to scapegoat this poor man. Even though no one else believed it, I wanted to. I wanted to believe that machine would function exactly as my hypotheses predicted. Which is why I was so opposed to it being investigated, I presume. I knew that if the machine was examined in detail, its construction would give away my hypotheses. Obviously, I didn't want that to happen, but at the same time, I knew that if it was found to be nothing more than a trick, than a work of deception, then everything I'd worked towards, all my research, all my dreams, my whole life would be over. I was terrified at the prospect. So you really had no idea then, did you? About the true nature of the machine that was built, and the true nature of Mr. Dreber. I never questioned anything. I didn't want to question it. It's entirely possible that Mr. Assman and Mr. Dreber were working together to use you as a means of fraudulently acquiring their research grant money. When I announced my invention through the crowds that day, it was the finest moment of my career. I pulled all the levers and turned all the dials in exactly the way Drebber had described. When the smoke suddenly started billowing out, I panicked. I didn't know what was happening. But I really don't know how the whole illusion was made to work. I don't know anything anymore. Let me confirm one final point with you, Professor. Do you now consent to the prosecution submitting the necessary paperwork to release your invention from the protection afforded by the Special Dispensation for the Scientific Equipment Act? Someone give him a hug. Yes, please go ahead. I'm very sorry.
It would appear that we shall have to suspend proceedings for the remainder of the day now. Lord von Zix.
My lord.
The court has newly been made aware of another party whose involvement in this matter is critical.
Yes, Mr. Drebber.
Gather information about the man, if possible. I should like him served with a subpoena.
With pleasure, my lord.
Now, counsel for the defense.
Yes, my lord.
When we reconvene, I shall be looking for one thing and one thing alone from you. Evidence that the defendant is innocent of the crime for which he presently stands accused.
I understand.
Good. In that case, this court is adjourned until tomorrow morning.
Mr. Naruhodo! Yes? I'm so sorry! I was wrong. You were right. I tricked you. You trusted me. I dragged you into my mess. Oh, how did it ever come to this? I'm so sorry! Did you really have no idea, Professor? About what Mr. Drebber was really up to, I mean. About what he was really constructing. Naturally, the machine was the embodiment of my hypotheses, of all my hopes and dreams. I had complete faith in it. Alright, in that case, I won't say anymore. Now, sadly, the murder accusation against you still stands, so we must do as much investigation as we can before the trial resumes tomorrow. Well, thank you for doing so much for me. I'm so sorry for arriving late this morning, Mr. Naruhodo. Arriving late? Didn't you receive my postcard? I wanted to let you know when I'd arrive. Postcard? What postcard?
I hid it from you, Runo, so it would be a surprise. Well, did it work?
I was surprised, alright, especially when she threw me to the ground. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I was just so happy to see you again that it sort of slipped out. Maybe we could stick to more traditional displays of emotion in future?
Susie's train was late into London Victoria this morning, you see. But we made the coachman really whip the horses hard so she didn't miss the whole trial.
I was watching from the gallery for a while, but in the end, I'm afraid I couldn't contain myself. Well, I'm glad you didn't. Having you at my side in court gives me the strength I need to win. So, I'm delighted to see you back in London. You're too kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm delighted to be here. I hope I can continue to be of service to you. Of course. So, what's brought you back? Did Professor Mikotoba not protest?
save all the conversation for when we're back at home, shall we? You know, I made one of my most special blends ever for this special occasion.
Oh, Iris, how wonderful! I can't wait. Susto-san was back in London. It's hard to describe how happy that made me feel at the time, but despite my elation, our tale was about to take yet another extraordinary turn. Susato is very cute, isn't she? I like her a lot. Yay, I think I am going to leave it here for today. I'm just getting kind of hungry, really. Anyways, thank you so much for being here and watching. I am very excited to see where this goes. I mean, I feel like well, I haven't solved it, obviously, but I find it kind of funny how I was able to, like, predict so much from, like, the fucking beginning, really. Well, at least the beginning of this trial. Like, before things had even really gotten established. I usually don't do that. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave this here. Next stream will not be on Thursday because I am going away on Thursday and I will be back on Saturday. So the next stream will be on Sunday. I am going yet again on a cruise to Germany. Just like a 2-day cruise. Nothing major, really. I feel like I've been on that fucking boat so many fucking times just the last year. I mean, I don't mind. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And it's good to just experience something else, you know, every once in a while. Also, I've been, like, thinking about, like, games I want to, like, play after Ace Attorney, I guess, because I still have to finish this, and I do want to play the Layton crossover. And after that, I don't know. I am very big on, like, replaying and re-experiencing just, like, things I'm already familiar with, which I don't want to do, but at the same time, I like doing it because it's just what I feel safe doing, I guess. Something like that, anyway. But I was thinking the other day, it was because of the announcement of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, because the trailer, everyone was just, like, thinking Detective Pikachu at first, and I was just like, oh my god, Detective Pikachu as in the game, that would be great. I remember I liked it a lot. It's not too similar to the movie, if you've seen that. And just the Pikachu in the game was just, like, the funniest fucking thing. Because, I don't know. It is a game! Yes, it is! I bought it, like, years ago and played it. And it was actually, like, a lot of fun. I think it's, like, it's not that long either. It's, like, 9 hours long, I think. At least that's a video I found online. But it ended really abruptly. Like, you set up, like, a plot, and then you think you follow that plot, but actually it's just that other plot that they just kind of, like, dragged onto the fucking game. No, they didn't make it up for a movie. So I really want to replay that. I looked at the fucking trailer for it and I was like, oh my god, that's right. It has fucking QTEs in it. And I also want to replay Yoshi's Crafted World, I believe it is. Just like as a cute platformer. Because I remember it was so cute and I loved it so much. And it's a platformer. It's a platformer. Anyway, everyone enjoys platformers, I guess. Not everyone, but like, it's easy to enjoy. And it's such a cute game, and I'm just like crying at the fucking fuzzy Yoshis. The fuzzy Yoshis and just everything is just so cutesy and I love it. And I never actually properly finished it. I mean, I finished it, but I didn't 100% it. Because there are like some levels that are like insanely hard. I haven't seen that game, but it looks adorable from the pics. Yes, it is. It is very much. So I would love to replay that. And I tried the new Kirby demo for the new Kirby game that's coming out soon. Maybe I'll play that. I don't know yet. Yeah. I just wanted to like bring up fucking Detective Pikachu for a while. I kept forgetting about it. It's just like every time I fucking close the stream and I'm just like, fucking Detective Pikachu. I wanted to talk about Detective Pikachu. Kirby Odyssey. Yeah, it really fucking is, isn't it? Except just way more fucking cursed. That car will haunt me. Yeah, I want to know who the fuck just suggested that? Who was just like, hey, what if we have a Kirby that just inhales the fucking car and becomes that car? And the entire fucking board meeting just went, yes, yes, that's a fucking great idea. Yes, we're doing that. We're so doing that. I want to know how that just came to be. I hope it was like that. Q executives clapping furiously. Yeah, exactly. Just like, yes, yes, this is what we've been waiting for. This is what I'm talking about. Yes, let's go. Fucking Kirby, woo! We love it here. Huh. But yes. Detective Pikachu though was in the game. I remember enjoying it a lot. I don't remember if I enjoyed that more than the video. What video? The movie? There were like certain things that I really enjoyed in the game. The QTs were not one of them, just because they were just boring, easy QTs. Like, think fucking, I the Somnium Files. But actually, no, I the Somnium Files got really complicated after a while. Not really complicated, but just like, press escape and the fucking up arrow, and you're just like, hello? No, the QTEs are very easy. I don't remember if it's just like the same button all over again, but maybe. You have not seen the movie? Ah, good. Good, good, good. Then you can experience it the same way I did. Game first, then movie. I don't think a lot of people are aware that it is a game, actually. Because I found the fucking trailer and there were like no one there. There were like a few comments, but like no one really said anything. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this here. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And with that, goodbye. Good night. Farewell. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for being here. Bye. Good night.